Welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
Q.
And calling in, we have
Blood Axe.
All right, let's get this started. Let's see. This week we're going to be talking about some Dungeons and Dragons, and Paizo is going to be the first thing we talk about. Paizo.
I don't know.
I mean, you correct everything else I say, so I'm probably wrong.
I mean, it's spelled Paizo, but it may be pronounced Paizo.
I mean, it's P-A-I. I don't know.
Pie.
Yeah, well. So anyway, pie is P-I-E. And the cake is a lie. So
I thought pie was just P-I.
Well, that's a different type of pie.
Which one's best?
Which one's more useful, or which one's best?
I said best, motherfucker. I didn't stutter. Gotta get like the Morgan Freeman on him. Like, what'd I say? Like,
I mean, well, with the PIE, it depends on the type. But
true, and if it's fresh.
Yeah. So anyway, Pathfinder Advanced Player's Guide came out recently, and we checked it out. I am gonna say, like, we have been doing 5th Ed for a while now, 5e, because we were trying to get something that was a little less convoluted than Pathfinder. But
because we kept introducing new players,
yeah,
and new people have a harder time getting into Pathfinder First Edition.
So, and 5e had its good things, but I'm glad to see a Second Ed getting its Pathfinder Second Ed finally getting its hooks in there. With the Advanced Player's Guide, you're starting to get those options that Pathfinder is known for.
One book, it exploded. Like, I've never seen one book have the testicular weight.
I will tell you, like, as far as buying books, like, I probably will never buy another 5e book after buying the Advanced Player's Guide for Pathfinder, because I felt so ripped off by the amount of content versus what's in the 5e books.
I mean, I hate to be this guy. I like a pretty book. I'm a book collector. Like, this dude watched me buy the 7th Sea book. We don't play 7th Sea. I just felt like
wanted to buy
a
new
book.
system.
I wanted a new system to add to my collection. I actually collect gaming books. I have books going back for years. I have Secret of Zoran. What's that? Yes, I know. Like, it got canceled shortly after I bought like the 30 books of it. I own multiple versions of Earth Dawn. So, I mean, I get a book that's a nice read.
A book that's a nice read.
Whoa.
That was a heck of an echo.
Yeah. That's what happens when you go to the look at the users chat. And
okay.
Volume.
So that was you.
That was Blood Axe. But essentially, 5th Ed books are a little bit more fluff that I care for.
Yeah.
And there is nothing but solid meat on the bone of this book, Pathfinder Advanced Player's Guide for 2nd Edition.
Well, I will say, too, man, like, one of the big things with 5e, we kept waiting for them to add some advanced rules or something to give it a little more meat. Because where, yes, you simplified things, you made it a little easier to get into it, you took way too much out with 5e. But, I mean, we have a history of advanced rules, you know, so
them start trying to push.
So I was hoping to see some of that, and I never saw that with 5e. Pathfinder Second Ed, they simplified things, they made things smoother without completely killing, the system.
What's up, One Cross?
How's it going? Nice to see you in the chat. But yeah, so they did it without completely killing the system, and they also still allow that heavy customization. I mean, we had Blood Axe down last weekend, and he joined in the game with us. And I mean, you picked it up pretty quickly, didn't you, Blood Axe?
It was a lot like 3.5, but there were several new things that I just weren't familiar with. This is live, son.
Comment from?
That is from One Cross.
Who's that?
But
I don't know. There's somebody in the chat. Do you want to be on TV?
Yes.
Welcome to Twitch.
Yo.
I'm glitchy.
There's one of the youngins. How you doing?
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, it was really easy to pick up. We picked it up really easily. We had Blood Axe come in. He picked it up really
actually
easily.
Playing it is easy. Yeah. We gave Blood Axe a character. He was able to play the game with no problems. It took him almost no time getting used to the action system and what to do. So, like, playing it, very easy. The character creation was a little bit more of a trial, but we're still friends.
I think so mad at me for that one.
I got over it.
Yeah, I mean, character creation is a little rougher than it is with 5th Ed for sure. But at the same time. Yeah, but at the same time, there's some things even there that are simplified that make a lot of sense. Like they finally said this whole stat rolling thing, it's always been like everybody's got their own stat rolling rules to try to make it where your character doesn't suck.
And I don't like
dropping roll ones, re-rolling, roll 4 die, take the highest. You know, when you have to have so many house rules on rolling something, on doing something, you're probably not doing it right. And so they went and said, okay, well, as you build out your character, let's just get your stats based off that, you know?
Yeah, like what's your background? Put a bonus here. You basically select several times you'll get an option to list of bonuses to your stats. And at the end of the day, you end up with your total stat set. And usually you're going to end up with some pretty decent stats. You'll usually see an 18, 16s, and 14s mixed in. You'll have a reasonable set of stats. Everybody has the same amount of stat points. So there's no imbalance. There's no Joe rolled better stats than me. I like that because while, you don't get the roll stats, you don't see super high stats, I don't feel underpowered with it, though. I feel like my stats are good enough. I'm comfortable with my stat numbers that I have. And then, but let's talk about this book. Like, the biggest thing about this book that I had to say is when he handed me this physical copy of the book he had, what did it take me, 10 minutes to go, did they have another copy? Like, I had to go buy this.
Yeah. You hadn't even finished going through the book yet when you were like, all right, this is worth getting.
This book adds more. You end up with more content than you started with. It more than doubles. It more than doubles the content of the game. Like, it adds that much because it adds to everything in the player's handbook. Then it adds like 12 archetypes, 4 or 5 new races.
Yeah, 4 new races, 4 new classes.
4 new classes.
Extra feats.
By the way, additions 2 existing archetypes and then whole new archetypes, feats.
Yeah, backgrounds.
Skill uses,
ancestries,
bunch of backgrounds. Advanced, hyper-advanced backgrounds with special rules like amnesiac and stuff. Like, it's a meaty book that, to me, when you get this book, you're good for a while. Like, I looked at this book and said, the only flaw of this book is once you bought this, you're not looking for the next book. You're pretty good.
It gives you enough options to where you feel like the reason why people played Pathfinder to begin with, and that's that extra customizability and actually being able to add flavor to your character without sacrificing too much on playability and so forth.
New spells too. Great new spells. They got it in there, guys. They got the animate dead. You know, my necromancer was waiting, and it's in there. So I mean, honestly, I can say these words for the first time. I never thought I'd say these since Libris Mortis and 9 Swords. I actually felt like they didn't keep anything back on this book to give to you later. They put everything they could think of. It feels like they said, hey, here are these. What do we put in the book? That. What? All of that. I want all of that in this book. The spells too, all of it. I want you to put everything in this book. And it's so, like I said, it's to the point that I'm going like, what the hell's the next book going to be? They're going to have to really come up with some new crap because they did. The only thing I think was missing, I don't think Gunslinger was in it. Like, I don't think
there's definitely some classes that can still be added. I mean, and there's some races that can still be added. I mean, we're missing a few of the...
Just a handful, though.
I'm sorry, ancestries.
There you go.
True, but I mean, they got the Aasimar, Tiefling, the Genocide. I think they got the Genocide too in there. Yeah, they had a Genocide.
And see, that's another thing. If you're battling the whole use of the word race over at the D&D 5th Ed camp, you can just go ahead and come over to Pathfinder where they went as ancestries already.
Talk about this. Anyway, but I consider this to be the book's $50 physical copy, and to me, It's worth it because I haven't seen this bang for my buck in a long time.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know it sounds like I'm just singing praise. It's because we've been buying 5th ed books.
Yeah,
and we've been spending this money to get like 3 things at the end of the book.
Well, I mean, we
like,
don't talk about anything, as far as advertising. I mean, obviously, we don't do any advertisements.
we have no sponsors.
But I mean, we don't talk about paying for something that we don't enjoy ourselves. I mean, that's why we talk about the Xbox. We talk about the Xbox Live Pass because we all have the Xbox Live Pass and have been using it and enjoying it. We're talking about Pathfinder because we're using it and we're enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I felt like I wanted to bring up because we started running it and I was like, this is pretty good. We had some new people that normally just play 5th ed and stuff, and they're like, wow, this is really good. They went and bought the books. They were like, oh, I got to go buy these.
We've converted 5th eders.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that got me about it is that this, like I said, like Zeno's a little bit more economic. I'm a bit of a thrivalist when it comes to buying game books. I just buy whatever I feel like because I cannibalize systems. He knows that. I'm notorious for being like, where'd you come with that idea? And I'd be like, I stole that from Secret of Zoran. I know none of you would know what I'm talking about because that book was never played by anyone. So thus I can take material and throw it into a game and no one catches it. But as somebody who's doesn't really care about how expensive a book is, though, I have to say, meaty. Like, I'll give you the best endorsement. We're literally planning, I'm going to buy my physical copy after the show. That was a little conversation. I said, let's go to the game book store because there's still copies. I'm buying a copy today. I'm going to be out at our local comic book store, Vans, Cards, and Games. I'm going out to Vans to physically buy this book because I also support local comic book stores and because it's worth the money to own physically.
I mean, Blood Axe, after he played it, is even going to start calling in so he can he wants to play remotely so he can keep playing. So
and he said the words he needs to get this book. So, I mean, like, the book is a good spin. If you're playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition and you've put the money in, you want this book. It's the one. In fact, as much as I like the Lost Omens book, I'd say that if I had to buy one first, get the Players at Pathfinder Advanced Players Guide, then get the Lost Omens. But you do want Lost Omens also. But Lost Omens ain't packed like the Lost Omens. Though was pretty good. We were surprised how much content was in it since it's supposed to be a campaign guide. Yet it's filled with classes and stuff. They tried to make sure that you don't pay $50 and not go home and your game expands.
This is an actual expansion, though, where Omens, like you said, it's more campaign than it is.
It still had a decent amount of material.
Yeah.
But this is from cover to cover.
Some of the content is specific to the campaign.
And don't think it doesn't have flavor. It goes into interesting detail about what the different races are, heritage, ancestries.
And heritage.
Well, it's got all of it. It's got ancestries, heritages, and ethnicities. It's packed.
But anyway, so... No, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about that. Let's get a random encounter in.
I'm actually in a good mood now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the next subject we're going to talk about, I think we're going to talk about probably I'll have a lot rougher discussion. So,
I thought we were going to go to Blood Axe.
Huh?
Are we going straight? We're going straight into it, man.
I mean, you're next, man. Your topic's next. So,
all right,
we're going to do a random encounter first, though.
Okay, good. Let's clean the palate.
Yeah.
I don't want to taint the taste of that good book.
Except I forgot to pull the list up, so give me just a second here.
Do my sexy librarian. What book are you looking for? Player's Advanced Guide, you say? Wow, we have a copy.
I guess I'll roll first this time. Ugh.
Use your subject, yeah. Let's do it. We'll do it. We've got an easy way to handle it. Down the list.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's see how this goes. 11.
That's not an 18.
Thank God for some miracles. 11 is DJ ranking, X-Men arcs.
Oh.
God Loves Man Kills, Mutant Genesis, Days of Future Past, E is for Extinction.
Oh, that's a good one. He went into the more eclectic ones, too. I mean,
I'm trying to remember God Loves Man Kills. Like, I remember Mutant Genesis. I remember Days of Future Past. I remember E is for Extinction.
I got to start off just to help out. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in there. As I got to go. Days of Future Past, man, is up there on the top.
No, it definitely is. But I'm Blood Axe. What is God Loves, Man Kills? Which one's that?
So this was actually written in 1982, and this is the story when Magneto was actually looking into the murder of 2 mutant children who were killed by Stryker. Everyone knows who William Stryker is. If not, then not. So Stryker, who murdered the wife and newborn of the son, so while they're looking into him, Charles Xavier, who Stryker knows is also a mutant, kidnaps him, forcing the X-Men to team up with Magneto to find their mentor. So it's basically the story of Magneto and the X-Men grouping up together to actually go after the senator who was actually having these issues. Anyway, so if you pull it up on Wikipedia if you need to, Zeno.
It's one of. It sounds like it's one of the many the Magneto and the X-Men team up arcs.
Yeah. Well, I'll go ahead and list mine out. It's a tight fit between Days of Future Past and Mutant Genesis. But I'm probably going to go Days of Future Past first, Mutant Genesis, then E is for Extinction, and then God Loves Man Kills because I don't remember it.
That's actually my order, too. Days of Future Past was really good. And also, just I'm usually quite a fan when you kind of get that view of, like, what things would be like under a few different circumstances. You get a little more insight.
Days of Future Past was also your most mainstream, probably.
Yeah.
Like
Mutant Genesis was pretty good. E for Extinction was pretty good, but God Loves Man Kills, like, it's one of the team-ups. I knew it was one of the team-ups, but I didn't remember which one, and that's why it's on the bottom, because I'm familiar enough with the X-Men that the fact that I couldn't immediately remember it means it's not one of the top arcs, whereas all those other 3 are very familiar to me, especially Days of Future Past being the most familiar as well. Like, I'm also mentioning them in order of the most I remember about.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
me
in
too.
that exact order. What about you, Blood Axe?
Actually, if you think of X2, it's the storyline of God Love Man Kills. But actually, I like Days of Future Past. Is probably my favorite. I actually do like God Loves Man Kills. Mutant Genesis would be number 3, and E is for Extinction would be my last one. Because the E for Extinction actually came out and they tried to rechange a lot of the way the comic book landscape operated, whole new outfits for everybody, and that was when we were really getting to the nostalgia of the first X-Men movie. So that's why I would put that one number 4.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, just to make sure, Extinction 2 is kind of like when the mutants were getting down to basically, they were almost extinct at that point, right? Like, like the mutant numbers had dropped like really, really low for a while, and Wolverine had kind of got to clowning again, and like it was an interesting part because it was basically like the darker, grittier. The X-Men arc went into kind of its darker, grittier angle for a while. Then it kind of went into whatever the hell it's supposed to be now. Anyway, the modern X-Men still hurts my feelings, and I'm really hoping that Phase 5, I guess it would be Phase 5 or 6, will fix that. But that depends on Phase 4 failing spectacularly. I mean, I actually have to hope for it to fail spectacularly.
Yeah, E is for Extinction. I remember not liking that one, actually, now that I refresh.
Like I said,
I didn't really care for it at all.
I remember it more, but that's just because like God Loves Man Kills is like really way back. Like
I was 4 years old. I was 1. So
so like
I might have to go back and read God Loves Man Kills.
So you can put it above you.
Yeah,
so you can reorder it.
All righty. Let's get on to the next topic here. Let's see what we got. This one's from Q. And Spider-Man coming to Marvel Avengers exclusively on PlayStation.
Marvel Avengers is a multi-platform game coming up based on the Avengers and Kamala Khan and some other people. Anyway, let me not talk about her. I won't hate on Camila, or Ms. Marvel as she's known as, not to be confused with Captain Marvel. But basically, it's going to be out on PC, Stadia, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, and Xbox X Series. Oddly enough, I did not see. I don't think I saw like Nintendo on that like list. No, it wasn't because it was 6. It was 6 platforms. So Nintendo does not seem to be vying in for this. And apparently Sony, is going to be exclusively getting the DLC for Spider-Man.
Yeah, and if you're watching the video, as you can see on the screen, this was released on the PlayStation blog this past Monday. That they are getting exclusively on PlayStation Spider-Man. Now, this is a DLC, so it is later content. It's not like the core game. You're losing out on anything.
Well, that's where we disagree quite violently. While I will at least say, thank goodness it is not coming out immediately up front.
Mm-hmm.
What this says to me, when the people allowed Sony to buy them out and pay them to do this, is they said, hello, we are creating this game and it will be $70. Only Sony's getting all of it. Rest of you will not be.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
All right, to me, they're supposed to, because everybody's supposed to be getting these extra characters. All of the characters are supposed to be free, because Hawkeye is supposed to come up. They mentioned Hawkeye as being one of the free characters also that they're planning for it. And everybody's getting Hawkeye. But one particular group is getting another one for free, which to me means, no, they're not getting it for free. It's just they're building Spider-Man. They're going to build Spider-Man to go into the game, and they're not going to give it to these people that paid the same money. I refuse to buy a game and not get all of it. If I walk into a store and they go, hey, you going to pay $10 for your meal, the same as this man here, but this man gets dessert. You don't. I'm going to go, well, screw you. I'm going to walk out. That's all. I don't care why. The simple fact is we're paying the same money. Why am I not getting the same? And that is the flaw of this concept. You are literally looking at people and going, we're not going to treat you equal. Even though we're going to charge you equal. That's the key part. We're going to charge you equal, but we're not going to give all of you everything. Some of you will get less because we got paid to do this to you. And I don't know who I'm more annoyed with, Sony or the fact that they allowed them to do it.
But see, I think your analogy is flawed, though, because it isn't I'm getting something that you're not getting when I buy the game. It's basically like you went in the door on the left, and I went in the door on the right, and we both bought the same thing. But the guy at my door, the door on the right, was like, hey, man, if you keep using the door on the right, later on, we're going to get you something special.
Spoken like a true Sony owner.
Yeah, and here's the problem, though. Because the man on the door on the left and the man on the door on the right are working for the same company, because it's the game that's doing it. The game took the deal.
But by getting on the door on the left, where you might not be getting Spider-Man, you're getting a better experience.
That's not for the game company to decide that I'm buying it from. Because while I like to attack Sony, and I'm sorry, Blood Axe, I just speak here. While I like to attack Sony, I can't blame Sony for taking this deal. They were dumb enough to let them do it. Even I have to go, it's a good deal, man. Like, I gotta look at Sony and be like, if somebody was literally letting you go like, hey, man, you want to have Spider-Man and no one else? Who says no to that? Spider-Man is arguably more popular than the flipping Avengers themselves. Go ahead, man.
So let's backtrack a second. Who owns the Spider-Man franchise?
Well, Sony owns the movie franchise.
Okay. And who owns the PlayStation franchise?
Sony owns the PlayStation franchise.
And who just recently got in bed with Epic?
That would be Sony.
So this is what happens when you get in bed with Epic. You start fucking other players. There you go. So anyway,
Yeah, they're learning from Epic already.
They've been fucking other players for years, man. Way before Epic. Before Epic was even born, Sony was fucking players.
This is pretty big, though.
Different if different consoles got different characters. So when the first was the Ultimate Avengers, it was the Marvel Ultimate Alliance came out. You know, you got certain characters on one system versus certain ones on Xbox versus PlayStation. Okay, that's fine. They've done that with Soul Calibur other games to where you get a console-specific character. The fact that Sony gets a extra character and nobody else gets the extra character.
Well, we don't
have a problem with that too.
We don't know that for sure, though.
Yes,
Xbox may be paying to get their own character as well. They haven't announced it in a blog yet, but we don't know. The game's not out yet.
But they announced that Spider-Man's coming to Sony, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why would you announce that PlayStation is getting a specific character unique to that console and not announce the other ones when you're going to anger those fans who might actually hurt your sales because, okay, well, if you're going to treat me like that, then I just won't buy your game until it goes on discount.
Yeah,
well,
you'd want to announce them all together in order to pump up your sales.
Well, the video game company isn't the one that announced it, though. Sony announced it through their blog.
Clearly, the video game company informed them.
I'm sure. What I'm saying, though, is this doesn't mean that Xbox doesn't go and say, well, we want this character.
Oh, they're well beyond the development stage at this point.
Well, I mean, obviously, the game comes out this year. This Spider-Man DLC doesn't come out till next year.
Right, but as a game developer, you would want to go ahead and coordinate those announcements with those other other vendors as well. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, if I had my way, what Xbox would do is they tell them to keep their damn game.
With the way
I wouldn't even take an inferior version of the game.
with the way this game works, I don't even see how the DLC is even going to be really great.
It's a very linear game. I don't know how this is supposed to work.
What's that?
You get to play as Spider-Man.
When though, because you don't get to choose who you're playing. It's a story-based game, and you go through different characters as you go through the story. So if you add a Spider-Man DLC, are you giving me 15 minutes? You give me an hour with Spider-Man? Yeah.
Or do you rewrite the whole game?
Are you rewriting the whole game where I can just always play as Spider-Man? What exactly am I getting? I don't even know that.
And by the time Spider-Man comes out, people will be done beat the whole dang game. Yeah. So where do you fit them in?
You're getting free content that the rest of us aren't getting.
Well, and is it going to be free? It says DLC.
No, they said it's part of the free. When I went to Wikipedia, it was stating that it's part of the free characters that they intend to add to the game. The general issue here is that this is a negative practice. This isn't just about this game. The concept of allowing one version of the game to be superior to others based on platforms and who paid your child's school fees recently creates this inequality in the gaming market. Because like he said, in Soul Calibur said, hey, every copy gets a unique character. They didn't say Nintendo gets a unique character and everyone else can go to hell. And that's why this practice makes me look at it and go, I will not buy Avengers.
Is it a smart practice? No. Is it life-changing? I'm not going to enjoy the game because of it. Well, I'm probably wasn't going to play the game anyway. But if I was, I don't think this would stop me because I don't see the value that I'm losing or gaining.
Yeah, but here's the other perspective.
Because I'm going to be long past this game, like you said, though, by the time that this DLC
But
comes
Spider-Man
out.
could sell the game to me if I could get it without getting it through Sony. If Spider-Man was going to be in the Avengers game on PC, I would actually look. I'd wait to find out how he's implemented. But would I buy a game to play Spider-Man? Yeah. Especially because I didn't get to play the last Spider-Man game because it was Sony exclusive. I would love to get to play as Spider-Man. But they have, in their brilliant money-making idea, they've once again made sure they won't get my money. It's like they literally go, how do we make sure we don't get Q's money? And they're trying real hard.
My thing is obviously Spider-Man was not planned to be in this game to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys, they had a game, and they were like, all right, we're going to put out this game, this Avengers game. These are the characters that are in it. Now, then that somebody goes, hey, man, I'll give you this money here if you make us a Spider-Man in there. You'd go, nope, not going to do it unless I can do it for everybody. You've got to pay me to do Spider-Man for everybody.
No, actually, I would have said, hey, that's a good idea. We should put Spider-Man in the game. We'll sell more copies. Thanks, dumbass, for giving us this great idea. You put Spider-Man in the game, and now everybody's like, Spider-Man! And now the game's selling on all the consoles, and you make all this extra money, and people go, maybe Marvel isn't so bad. Instead of everybody just taking and looking over there at the little evil group of Tencent and Sony and Epic standing over there, and they just take Marvel, they just go sit over there with your people. There you go. Go over there with them, apparently. Because now I'm landed with this plus Phase 4. Fuck Marvel. I'm done. This plus new Warriors, too.
You were already done. This isn't changing your opinion.
I was looking forward to what they might do with the X-Men. I'm losing rapid faith. Rapid faith. I had hope that maybe the X-Men would bring it back. But these bad decisions are leaving me thinking there's no way Wolverine is not going to be in touch with his feelings. Like, I just see it coming, man. He's gonna be newer, more sensitive Wolverine.
I mean, as where I think it's a dumb business decision not to have had Spider-Man to begin with. At the same time, if somebody pays you to do some extra content for them, and it pays for your hours and your workers and your development time, then you do it.
Not if you're putting a game out across multiple platforms, man. You're asking for trouble. It's a bad overall business move. You might make the money now. It's the same thing Epic does to everybody. Make the money now, get screwed in the long run.
I think this is less worse than exclusives in general. So,
if it wasn't Spider-Man, I might agree, but he's too big. Dude, he's got too much star power. Your whole argument would be valid if it was not Spider-Man.
I think you're just being a little whiny.
I think you don't understand the selling power of Spider-Man.
According to Insomniac, Sony acquired the rights along with the Insomniac back in 2016. Activision held it up until then.
There's so many conflicting articles there. Like, as far as at some point they were saying that Marvel said that as of 2016, when Activision lost it, the rights were not owned by anybody. Insomniac licensed it for a game, but not for... It didn't buy the rights entirely. It was just licensed for that game.
Well, they think they own it along with Sony, so let them hash it out in court. That'll be an interesting topic to talk about later.
Yeah, no, that'll be a good topic to talk about later.
It's a great topic because Spider-Man has star power.
From all the from most of the articles I read, Insomniac did not own the rights for Spider-Man. They just bought the rights for that game. And then Sony now owns Insomniac. So.
The best-selling superhero games, one of the best-selling superhero movies. Like, dude, you're underestimating Spider-Man. I'm just gonna say
you're just mad because you don't have a Sony.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not mad because I don't have a Sony. I don't want one. I literally told you can't give me one. I won't take it.
I don't want a Sony anymore either, but I still have one. Because the Xbox Series X hadn't come out yet.
Game Pass is where it's at. Devil May Cry 5, man. They just added Devil May Cry 5 and Darksiders, what is it, Exodus or whatever? Genesis. Like Xbox's new plan, this is my sub-subject, I'll make it quick, but Xbox's plan is pretty good. I used to wonder why they didn't have exclusive. What the heck were they doing? Mm-hmm. And now I know what it is. They're like, we don't need exclusives. We're going to offer you two things that Sony will never do. One, we're going to offer you a really good value on your games, large games, and two, crossplay.
I mean, they have console exclusives. They have several console exclusives.
They don't aggressively pursue it like Sony. Sony goes out and buys games and makes them exclusive that weren't exclusive.
Yeah.
Like,
but
Sony goes out and
most of their exclusives are also on PC. So.
Yes, which is what that makes it not exclusive then.
That's why I said console exclusives, not exclusives.
Well, the key part is that their
listen to the
strategy-
words, man.
Their main strategy seems to be sound, though. Where I thought Sony had it all going on and that Xbox didn't have a hope, they came at an angle I didn't see, which is it's expensive to buy $70 games. Get our Game Pass. We'll get you all the games you want. Oh, your friends on a PC? Cool, play with them. Because Grounded, crossplay. Gears of War 5, crossplay. I've heard there's others, but I know those two right off the bat. Crossplay. You know what Sony specifically has denied, even on the games that were multi-platform? They said, no, we're not doing it. Now, I do think they may be planning to start it up with Epic. But right now, they offer you some experiences you can't get anywhere else. One, a lot of the top-tier games, really top-tier games like, say, Devil May Cry dude, got scored really high and was like a 10 out of 10, I think, on a couple of things. Is a really top-tier game, and now it's here. And I'm just like, wow, they are putting good games on here. These aren't just, and then all those announced games, man, the new Warhammer. So this is their strategy. So if you were worried, I can give you some assurances. The Xbox has a strategy. They just didn't bother saying it. They're showing it. And I like that. They said, we're not going to sit here and tell you what we're doing. We're going to let you see it. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Like, the Blood Axe text me. Yo, man, you know how we're talking about should we buy Darksiders Exodus? It's on Game Pass. Boom, we downloaded it. We were just talking about it. It was a recent conversation, wasn't it?
It was on sale for like $31. I was like, yeah, maybe we should get this because we want something different to play. Because we did everything with Borderlands. Gears is just, Operation 4. But after we get done with that, what are we going to play at this point? Grounded came in at a good time because I was about to buy it. And I just happened to look on Game Pass. I was like, oh, Genesis is here. Sweet. We have another game to play. So, but yeah, I'm excited to see what they have coming out in the future. And if the new Marvel Avengers game's on there, I'll probably play it with you at that point.
Well, I'll play it if it's on Game Pass, yeah. But I'm not going to spend money directly into them because they can kiss my ass. Like, that's just, like I said, man, I don't like, I mean, this is my old grudge with Sony. You know my feeling. You can't treat me like a redheaded stepchild and get my money.
We all know your feelings towards Sony, and I think your feelings towards Sony is making a bigger deal out of this than what it actually is.
I just refuse to be treated any kind of way, man. Maybe you don't mind. It's okay. Not everybody has my dignity.
Uh-huh.
You don't get my money and you don't give me the whole package. I want Around the World and a Dirty Sanchez. Dang it. I want the whole package.
Yeah, a package that you probably would have never played otherwise anyway.
I don't even know what a Dirty Sanchez is, but apparently I
don't
I'll
care.
tell you after the show, Q. It's not
I got that off of South Park, and I got a feeling that apparently it's terrible. Look at your face.
So
don't.
Dirty Sanchez, you don't want to receive a Dirty Sanchez. We'll keep it right there. I'll tell you all about Dirty Sanchez, the Rusty Trombone, the Cincinnati Bow Tie, the Alligator Fuck House, the Alabama Hot Pocket. You want to know? We'll talk about it later. Or go to Patreon and you can hear the conversation.
Oh yeah, there you go. We put it in. We can record it. Put the whole thing in Patreon.
We get enough Patreon Patreons, and we will make a video about it. I will say that now.
I know the nastiest one has to be the Hot Pockets because Hot Pockets already taste bad as a food. As a sex act, they have to be worse.
All right. So anyway, let's refresh our palate here with a random encounter.
I hope I roll 18. That'll be refreshing, won't it? I've seen what 18 is. Good one, by the way. That was terrible. Hey,
you like that one?
You gonna make me stretch?
Yes. 5.
Damn it! Why now? That's all right. I trust in the Blood Axe. He can get that 18.
Wizards and Witches. Name a wizard that rivals Gandalf the Grey's swordsmanship.
Huh. I mean, the easiest one is actually Elminster, because Elminster's whole backstory is he spent a period of time as a fighter. And yeah, I snagged it. Well, I had to think of the first one because, like, Gandalf the Grey is a really good swordsman. I even would say that he may be superior to Elminster in swordsmanship. But it's okay because Elminster is an actual wizard. So it's like with real magic. But, yeah, like, Elminster is supposed to be quite the swordsman. He's not a wizard. I thought of someone else, but he's not a wizard. He just acts like one. I was thinking of Ra's al Ghul, who's a very fine swordsman and has the demeanor of a wizard. But no, like I'd have to jump with Elminster, because honestly, wizard swordsmen outside of anime. Now we're going to anime. That's easy, man. You can just start. You can basically go down to every fantasy anime you know and just start piling them on. But that other people would recognize, Elminster is actually quite the swordsman. Also has rogue levels, I think, too. Didn't he also spend a time as a rogue?
I mean, the dude's old. Yes. Like,
he was also a woman for a while. Mr. Dude to teach him sensitivity.
Yeah.
Good, I know my D&D, man.
He was in hell for a while, too. So
that was more recent. Yes, he got in hell. And boy, did they raise hell to get him back. It's like Mister just threw everybody she could, just pick people up and said, go to hell. Go to hell and get Elminster. Just threw him at hell.
Well, I mean, when you have that many freaking magical items in your body.
She took the dude, the crazy wizard from under the mountain. What's his name? Hallister, I think. What's his name? The crazy wizard of
Under the thing is he didn't need him. He didn't need him. He had so much crap on him that it's like, oh, I don't have my abilities, but I've got all this stuff that I've basically built my body out of magical items, just shoving them in there, you know? It's like, where are you storing that? You don't want to know. That was my penis people. Ring.
I mean, that's called that the rusty trombone.
That comes later.
Yeah, no.
Shots come later.
Elements, yeah, okay. I can't think of anybody else either, dude. I mean, there are some of the tellings of Merlin that Merlin's a pretty good swordsman. Huh? You consider Geralt a wizard?
He's got magic.
I guess.
Yeah. Geralt Riviera does have magic,
but he plays more of the alchemist type, I think.
He's got about as much magic as freaking as Gandalf. Again, like I'm sorry, man, but Gandalf's magic's a little.
But modest. I mean, there's so many different tellings of Merlin that there are some where he is a swordsman.
There's some where they kind of hybridize him with Arthur. They've done that. So Merlin probably in some incarnation or other. I consider Geralt to be like Geralt has magic. I played the games. Geralt has magic, so I consider him to be a spellcaster, and he's
maybe
a
spell sword.
There you go, spell sword. What do you got? I took Elminster from you, Blood Axe. What you got? We had to.
So I had to change on the fly because Elminster was the one I had written down on my list. So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to go with Yoda.
Damn, that's a good cheat. That's a good cheat.
Fucking he is a space wizards.
God, no, not bad. You came in at the wrong time? No, the rusty trombone's not when you come at the wrong time. That's a different one. I mean, that guy, that's a different...
Not that.
What's up, Malcolm? Beat that guy gaming.
That's called the broken egg timer. You came at the wrong time.
All right, so... What do we got next? We have Blood Axe with Disney shakes up streaming approach after losing nearly $5 billion due to pandemic.
That is a lot. Even for Disney, that is a big hit, man. That is a really big hit.
Yeah. So tell us about that, Blood Axe.
So, based on their most recent financial statement, which came out earlier this week, they had a loss of over $5 billion due to the COVID-19, mainly due to the parks closed down for 3 months, but also the film industry took a major hit as well. So one of the things that they're trying to do to help, ease investors' conscience is they're actually going to start doing some new streaming options over in Europe, to where they're going to add a lot of the properties they've acquired through Fox and ABC. But they're also going to start including in Disney Plus a pay-per-view option for some of their blockbuster movies like Mulan on September the 4th. So you can pay $30 and you can watch a brand new movie before it hits the theaters, which we were discussing before the show, that this is actually going to start hurting the film theater industry, because, they're not only losing money on tickets. So to bring me and my family, we drop over $100 in tickets and popcorn and drinks and stuff. So not only are the theaters having fewer seats for those that are open because of social distancing, but you're also going to start having movies not even show up in your theater. So that's one of the ways they're going to start trying to recoup some of the money is through add-ons for streaming. But working through some of the situations just in my career, I've seen where when the industries get strapped for cash, they have to find creative ways to make money, or more importantly, save money. So I would actually, this is again, Blood Axe's reckless speculation. I fully expect to start seeing some cuts, trimming the fat, getting rid of people that, aren't as productive or don't bring in money, especially when you have duplication of duties, because that happens a lot when you get as big as Disney is you'll have, a director of Marvel TV, then you have a director of Marvel Films. Well, why do you need a project manager for both when you can have one that does the whole realm of Marvel together? So I'll fully expect to start seeing some people let go, and hopefully Kathleen Kennedy is one of them.
I am saying that I'm surprised. I don't know, man. Like, it says pay-per-view for Disney Plus, so you're taking a service I already pay a monthly fee for, though, and you're adding additional pay-per-view options. I don't like the concept of that. But it does also just say it's in areas where theaters are not open, so it may not be for everyone.
Right, but how many times? Well, maybe not you, but when you have a family, how many times would you say I would rather pay $50 and watch a movie that's in the theater right now because it's cheaper and it's more comfortable in my home? You don't get the theater experience, but for someone like me who has four boys, it's definitely going to be cheaper than would be taking them all to go see, the next Marvel movie, next Star Wars movie. So it's value for me. But on the other hand, it's also safer. So I would not want to take them today anyway if there was a new Star Wars movie at the theater, just because I don't want them to maybe contract COVID and get sick or spread it to, family members. So I can understand why they're doing it. And yeah, you're right. You charge me for a service. Now you're going to charge me a fee on top of that. But if you don't want to watch Milan, what's the big deal? So I don't see it that big of an issue, but I do like the opportunity that they're giving us to be able to watch movies at home, which I've thought about for years. Why can't we just pay a fee and watch it at home? Oh, because the theater needs to make popcorn money. Okay, I get it. So I actually like the idea. I'm excited about it, see what happens in the future, because there are a lot of movies that are on hold, like Black Widow and the Eternals, that I want to see, but they're pushed out because of the whole pandemic situation.
Yeah. Now, I am curious how they're going to end up doing the pay-per-view, though, as far as watching time. Like, if I, some places you do pay-per-view, you can watch it for up to a day or something like that.
According to the conversations I've seen about this, I've watched a few videos and followed on it. It will be accessible to you indefinitely.
Oh, wow.
As long as you maintain your membership, you will be able to watch Mulan. It's like you made it, basically you purchased it on your service.
Yeah, so that way if you have like a family account of Disney Plus, it actually, I guess it does make it a little more viable, because then if you can't get everybody together, they can all still watch it.
And $30 isn't much more than what you pay for Blu-ray nowadays, for like $25. Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, what gets to me is how this is almost like the knife in the wound, the knife in the back of the movie theaters that are already suffering, because now because here's the thing. They're not losing a lot of money if I go do this. I was $10, $15. Zeno, $10, $15. Blood Axe, they lost $100. The movie theater lost $100 because it's cheaper for him.
Yeah.
On top of that,
because I'm going to go in. I'm going to go in with cargo pants, so I don't have to buy anything from the concession stand.
I rarely go to the concession stand, and even if I did, that's what, $20. And it's like. But families are who this is going to benefit, because here's what Blood Axe can do. Blood Axe can sit there and go, I'll cook dinner. The kids are fed. The wife is fed. I'm fed. Everyone's full. We're relaxed. We sit down and watch the movie.
Well, you don't got that annoying person behind you that's screaming or laughing when they shouldn't laugh, or
your annoying black best friend who keeps talking,
or your annoying black best friend who keeps being the stereotypical black guy in the theater. and you're like, I'm trying to watch a movie.
Did you see that?
Dude, even if I ordered pizza, bought a suitcase of sodas, and paid $30, I'll come out at half cost.
Yes. Like I said,
the
movie theater. So like this, if this catches on to other movies being produced now, other developers, whatever, other studios, then this is just going to kill the theaters. This will kill the theaters because with the loss of revenue from COVID and the main people that they make their money from going, I can do this from home. That'll be it. And what's funny is if you want to see something funny, go to YouTube. There's a video of a guy taking a baseball bat, a theater owner taking a baseball bat to the display for Mulan after he found out they were doing this. So you can actually see like somebody expressing their feelings very physically on a Mulan display. It's very funny and sad. Very sad.
One of the Pandora's box options that actually opens up to is, okay, I'm Netflix, and you've got the brand new movies coming out for Fast Furious 10. Okay, I'm going to pay you $1 billion to stream it on my service, and I'm going to then charge my people $30 to watch it indefinitely. So you can now, because not a lot of companies have their own streaming service like Disney does. So, you know, when you have these Paramount studios and these other the other studios that don't have a streaming service, that opens up other streaming vendors like Apple and Netflix from jumping in. I'm going to pay you this to not even put it in the theater, even though, you know, you maybe put, you know, $200 million into it. I'm going to give you $1 billion for that movie right now, or $750.
So yeah, they can Sony it. Yes, they can totally Sony it.
You're pulling an Epic with the movie business.
An Epic or a Sony, yeah. You're pulling a Epic.
I figure if anybody's going to try to get in on this, so it's going to be like Amazon. Amazon's going to try to get in on this big time.
So we may be seeing the new convenience of watching movies at your own time convenience, but at the cost of the theaters we grew up with.
I mean, YouTube also does movie rentals. Most people don't know that, but you can actually. So YouTube may also get into it. So you've got several services that could get that and try to get that exclusivity to use their service. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, you say they're not losing a lot of money from guys like us, but they sort of are too if it's the right type of movie, because you know there's some of those movies we've gone and we've rewatched because it's been so good and so much you wanted to go and see what you missed. So the second time you'll watch it with a different eye to try to catch some of the stuff in the background. I mean, there's been a couple of a couple of the early Marvel movies that we went and saw a couple of times.
Oh,
so,
heck yeah, man.
It's not just a family thing. It's also the rewatching that they'll be losing as well.
I mean, yeah, because the theater you paid to go see the movie. Because people like I've seen Avengers Endgame. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, and oh my God, so many people went to see the Star Wars movies repeatedly, just trying to make sense out of it.
I mean, we've been in there and go like, man, I missed something in this scene. I'll have to keep an eye on it and go back and watch it again, and then you go pay for it again. Well, now you missed something. You just pause it and go back and go, oh, okay, that's what I missed.
People who repeat view movies have no reason not to do this as well. People who are like, I saw this 3 times. I mean, even people like Nostalgia Critic who does movie reviews. He states, I remember one time he said, I had to watch this 3 times. I went back, I watched this 3 times in order to dip together what I was going to say. I watched it 2 times. I watched it 4 times. Well, it's very economic to just go, I spent $30. I watched it until I had everything I needed, and then I made my little skit. So it's, I mean, I'm sorry, movie theaters. I grew up on you. I lived inside the Dollar Theater. Man, we went there all the time. I went to the movies.
Now you will be making it easier. You will be making it easier for the pirate sites, though.
Yeah.
So. And they're already doing that anyway.
Yeah.
I can get quality videos. I'm sorry. I've heard of getting quality videos the day of or even before the movie comes out.
Oh yeah, no. There are people that because so many of the theaters have digital projectors now, that people inside the theaters will actually grab straight from the
file. Yeah.
Never underestimate the effort that people make to steal something.
Oh yeah, no, man. I mean, where do you think the high quality stuff comes from on these pirated sites? the day of or before. You know,
I usually see the phone camera. Like I don't know where you fancy white folks get your high def. I
going to the wrong site.
I get the bootleg like version where I hear laugh track. Like I got a laugh track from the because they can't even shut up. Like we can't even shut up while we're stealing the movie. They still talking during the damn movie. So I got a monologue during my movie. And it's like, did you see that? I was like, yeah, I did, man. Okay. Glad I didn't pay for this. But I mean, it does give the experience of not being alone. You feel like you're sitting there with somebody doing
that's depressing and sad.
You
man.
get dialogue. Whoa, I know, right?
I watched The Bad Pirate, so I don't feel so lonely.
I just watch the Bad Pirates because I remember the media bubble. I get the black version, so I get the Bad Pirates. Apparently, you suckers get like hand-stolen digital copies from the theater. You know, y'all get the white-collar crime version? I get the blue-collar crime version. I get the bootleg.
All right, Blood Axe, you want to give us a random encounter roll?
I don't get a roll of reel from the studio. Like somebody got one of the reels out, put it in the projector.
Hey Siri, roll me a d20.
Okay, 9.
I was waiting for 18.
9.
Hey.
Happy moments. Most excited you got from an anime scene/story ending.
Ooh, man, that's so many good animes, man. Oh, I gotta do more than one because there's just too many good ones. I'll do 2. I'll keep it to 2. But go ahead,
Mike?
you go.
Blood Axe.
Oh, Blood Axe, you got
I
one?
don't watch anime. I put this on there a long
Yeah,
time
I know.
ago.
I'm going like Blood Axe ain't got any. Like,
No, I got nothing. I mean, the closest I ever got to anime was watching Batman the animated series back in the 90s, or X-Men, you know.
okay, what was your favorite? Then there you go. Pull from Batman or X-Men. What is your best one? I mean, anime technically translates into animation. So what you got?
Yeah, it does. Actually, I think the episode I enjoyed the most from the Batman animated series was when he was working with Harley Quinn. I remember she kept calling him Mr. B, and I was in high school, so I paid partial attention. I didn't watch it religiously like you would nowadays for things, but I was like, that's when I actually fell in love with the character Harley Quinn, because the way she was personified, the voice actress, the way she got into the character, I really enjoyed that one. Actually, I was kind of sad when the episode was over, but actually I went and downloaded wallpaper of Harley Quinn and put it on my computer after watching that episode. So I know it's a weak answer, but it's the best I got.
Oh, one of my favorite animes is probably Irregular High School, and it's about this
Irregular at the Magical Academy.
at the Magical Academy, yeah. And this dude, like, he's a really interesting character, but throughout the whole thing, he has to keep everything secret. He's constantly doing all this stuff in the background, you know, and he gets shat on throughout the whole thing. And then the final event comes, and he finally gets to unlock his full potential, and everybody gets to see just how badass he is. That I thought was a awesome ending, because I mean, like, you see him, he's already badass, you know, throughout the whole thing, but he's restrained, you know, and then you get that final scene where it's like, okay, you know, we need you. We take off the restraints, and holy crap, like, you thought he was badass the whole thing, you know, and all of a sudden he just becomes like this near deity level character, and just and at the same time it's heartbreaking, because you find out just how much struggle he puts
how much he's been suffering,
how much pain he goes through with throughout this whole thing. And Yeah, no. So that's one of my favorite. I don't want to give too much about the scene or the ending because it is a really good anime, and they're actually coming out with a second season here soon. But if you haven't seen a regular at Magical Academy, it's definitely worth a watch, and it has some other great scenes in it. But the ending is pretty epic, and it got me stirred, you know.
For me, the reason why I had to do is because he said happiest, and then he said most excited, and those are two different scenes.
Yeah, and I was going with the excitement, not necessarily the happy.
Now I gotta go to for excitement. I gotta go to Dragon Ball Z, and like for a lot of people, like our boy Jarek, he's a huge Teen Gohan fan. But for me, it's Super Saiyan Goku when he just bitch slaps Frieza, man. I mean, he just goes to town. He's killed his best. Well, spoilers, it's Dragon Ball Z. I don't care. You better know. Spoilers, killed his best friend. But there's a scene where they're fighting, and Goku has just had enough, and he just takes his hand, and he's slapping his sucker back and forth. And his head, this realistic in the sense of not Looney Tunes cartoon, goes Looney Tunes for a minute because his head's deforming like friggin' Tom from Tom and Jerry. It's just bah, and it is a bitch slapping like you've never seen. It's the finest of bitch slappings. And it is just a moment where I just go, that's when you've had enough of somebody. You know what I mean? And you just go to town. One of the best exciting scenes from the anime. And then for happiest, I watched Naruto that whole time. And I'd seen so many animes where they followed the formula of the main female protagonist is Sakura, the main male protagonist is Naruto. They're supposed to hook up. But when he hooked up with Hinata and he recognized Hinata's feelings, and then later on, just the whole Hinata Naruto, when he notices her and their romance leads to them getting married, it was such a fulfillment of what I wanted to see happen. And I was just like, yes, got the right one. He didn't screw up. Because if you ever watch, who was that? Ryoku? Oh God, there's this one anime that's really bad about the main female protagonist is just a friggin' pain in my ass, and I couldn't stand it. And this was a perfect sign of no, he ended up with the right one. And Sakura, she got what she wanted and she deserved it. She got friggin' Sasuke and he left her. And left her to raise the kid because he's a piece of crap and she deserves it. But like Naruto and Hinata getting together was very fulfilling because you know how long that dang anime was. So it was like, oh, thank God. They didn't screw the ending. But when it comes to beatdowns, Broly's got one, and then Goku's got one. But Goku's was first, where you ought to look it up, dude. Just look up Goku slaps Frieza. Trust me. You don't have to watch Dragon Ball Z to love it. Goku slaps Frieza. You watch it, you will laugh your butt off. It is the best. And you'll literally be like, man, what did he do? And I'll be like, he killed his best friend.
Lightning Gundam says One Piece episode 129, 10 minutes and 21 seconds in.
Oh, is that the one with the death of... Oh, that's what I think it is. I don't watch a lot of One Piece, but I do know there's a heartbreaking scene, and you see Luffy just
Tears
break
of Joy,
down.
So.
Oh, Tears of Joy. Okay, so that wasn't the death. Yeah. Okay.
Now, I will say, like, my happy moment is probably one of the worst reasons to be happy ever. But I was watching this anime, and it was first episode, like, starting out. And after I saw this scene, I called up Q, and I was like, you got to watch this anime, dude. Because the happy moment was when somebody was dying, and he looks up at his friend, and he goes, as he's dying, he's like, friend. He's like, what, man? He's like, delete my hard drive.
Oh, man, that's a good one.
And that put the biggest smile on my face.
Yeah, the guy's dying. And this is his friend. He goes, go delete my hard drive. Throw it in the tub. No, it's like throw it in the And the guy did it. The guy's a real friend. He went, he took the computer, he put the computer in the tub and fried the hard drive. And I said, that's a friend, man. By the way, delete my hard drive.
Yeah, no, mine too.
Yeah.
Get the Dicejunkies stuff off first, so you got to keep that going.
You can destroy my whole thing. Throw mine in the tub.
But yeah, that was reincarnated in another world as a slime. So.
Yep, that was it. Yeah, that was the best one to leave my heart. I like the fact that he actually went into his apartment. And by the way, that was one of the great skit. Was that the Man Show? That's one of the one good Man Shows. Remember the Man Show skit where they had the service you signed up for, where they come clean up your house after you die so that your parents don't think you're a monster?
Yeah.
They get rid of all the porn. They clean it.
They put like Time magazine.
Yeah, like they take it because they had the commercial. The commercial has the mom going like, "Oh no, he was a monster." He was a saint. Like, and I said Adam's Bible. I remember that. That's how much I remember the skit. She's like, Adam's Bible, because they put the little Bible out. And I was just like, yeah, that's a good service, man.
You had a copy of Business Weekly.
I think in my will, I might burn down my house.
Burn down
my house. Just burn the whole house down.
Wait, no, your house is like connected to mine with a wall. So
I don't want anybody to survive my death. Like, I also want to outlive a lot of you.
Die together, so.
It'd be like, burn down my house. What about, no, lock the doors. Knock all the doors on the building and then burn it down. You may hear some screaming. That's just my ghost. My ghost.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, time to go buy the book, man. I got a book to buy.
That wraps up this episode.
I just found one on eBay for $20 with shipping.
I support local comic book stores.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Well, then you're not. Then you're allowed to do it if there's no local comic book store.
Yeah,
that's the one excuse. You can order it off of Amazon if there is none, because that's their fault. Why is there not a local comic book store?
No, it was eBay. So, no, that's one of the things on the coast. We have good food, but not a whole lot of geek culture down here, especially when they closed down the Kraken as well. So,
oh, that so hurts my heart, man. I love the Kraken, man. That was the Wayward Kraken was awesome, especially that I'll never get that awesome soup, man. That was a really good bisque.
Yeah.
The crawfish bisque, yeah.
Oh, man. That was like, I remember I was eating it. It was funny because they're sitting over here talking. They're like, man, Q finally woke up long enough. And then they started smelling. They're like, hey, man, what's that? And they just see me having a good old time. He's like, let me get, and you get it. And like, unfortunately, big dude, Clarence couldn't get it because he's allergic to like shellfish.
Yeah.
We didn't even, how good was it? We ate this within like a foot of him. We didn't care. Like, he's over there like trying to shy away as you're slopping through the bisque, and it's like poisons flying through the air as far as he's concerned.
But all right, be sure to catch us every Sunday at 3:30 on live on Twitch. You can join Dicejunkies on your Xbox on Xbox Club for gaming opportunities with Blood Axe and Q. You can also catch live gaming with Blood Axe on Twitch throughout the week. So be sure that you're subscribed to our Twitch channel so you get notifications when that happens. I think he also puts it up on Twitter or something, maybe.
Well, if it's a new escape map, I usually will send a Twitter shout out. Watch us struggle through trying to master this map, but we did get it on Tuesday. So the new escape map for Gears of War called The Ambush. Go to our YouTube channel. You can see 17 minutes of fun that we actually have with that mess. But me, Lunchbox Toby, and Zen Master, we did master it. So check that out, along with some of our other gaming videos. But we have a lot more on Twitch that we don't load onto YouTube. So definitely check us out. But if you go to Twitter and if you follow us there and favorite the channel, every time I go live with a stream, it'll send you an alert to your phone, so that way you can definitely be made aware to log in instantly. Want to give a shout out to Vixen Emu, who was watching us yesterday, and she's like, I want some of that. So she jumped in after watching us on Twitch. She jumped in and ran some Overload with us. So definitely do that. And if you want to run with us, give me a shout out on Xbox or on Twitter, and we'll get you in.
I've even heard rumors that I'm in one of those videos. I actually play Gears.
Yeah, sometimes.
On rare occasion, I pop up, usually along with Mrs. Blood Axe. So you get
grounded, but yeah.
Popping heads.
Yeah. You can check out our website, Dicejunkies.com, where there's links everywhere we can be found on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Discord.
We have a Discord channel. I don't know if I have a invite up anymore.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to any of that. That's all you, man.
Yeah.
I hear we have an email account.
Yeah, no, we do. You have one. I have one. Blood Axe has one. That's also on the website. All those are listed
We have
there.
a website?
We do. It's Dicejunkies.com. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube. And, keep coming. Keep watching. We hope you enjoyed, as every week. All that good stuff. Blah, blah, blah.
You threw me off.
I know. I got
you
twisted
screwed
again.
the lady. And as every week, we hope you enjoy.